Good morning, YouTubers. Tsquare here with Tsquare Talk. So today, I'm going to be going through a collection that I just traded with someone. He basically was cleaning out his collection and kind of wanted better stuff, more collectible stuff, and he wanted to try to get some gold. So basically, I had met up with him and I made him a deal on this collection right here. We're going to go through it. We're going to take a look at some of the good stuff in here, some of the bad stuff in here. You're already looking, saying, wow, that looks like a lot of cool stuff. So I'm going to show you guys everything that was in here. There is a lot of cool stuff, and there's a lot of nothing special stuff. Stuff like this, the Wright brothers, a couple state quarters, 2 quarters from the 2 states the brothers were from, I guess, maybe. Or, let's see, I don't know, North Carolina and Ohio. So just kind of something different. Probably not a lot of value on something like that. However, stuff like this, let's see here what we got here. Stuff like this, a peace dollar. People do like this stuff. So some stuff good. We're going to talk a little bit about it as we go through it. I'll pull it all out and you guys can check it out. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Please hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you guys think about cleaning out your collections. You know, space does become an issue. This is a good size box when I pull it all out. And, you know, you trade it in for a little bit of gold. What's better, gold, silver? I love reading y'all's comments. So please make sure you comment, make sure you like, and subscribe. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so I have pulled everything out. There's a couple things I always ask myself on collections like this. First of all, is it worth the amount of space that it takes up? Does it have collectible value? Does it have gold and silver value? Or is it just you know, spendable, really, currency? That does happen sometimes. But stuff like this, I got to ask, would you bust this stuff open? Personally, I don't like busting up stuff. Even if it has no value, I still don't like busting it up. Kind of like this. This has the absolute, probably least value out of everything. And that's why I kind of had it sitting on top to show you guys right off. It looks cool. The value that this really brings, probably literally 50-cent value, but maybe 56 cents if you need a 6-cent stamp to mail something. But on the flip side, you could probably resell it for, you know, $1 or $2. Or more importantly, I give this type of stuff to kids. Kids like it, especially if they're new to coin collecting. It teaches them a little something. And I'm not really out much money. Sometimes when people see me, if they know who I am, they know me as the coin guy. Stuff like this, it's pretty cool. So, but not collectible. So with that being said, let's start out with the biggest stack. And then this way we can kind of clear the most stuff up. Right off the bat, we do have the 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 proof set. So it is missing the 2008 proof set. These are not silver. If they were silver, that would have been awesome. But let's take a look here real quick. They are, for those of you that don't know, they are proof sets. They hold low value in the collectible world now. When I say low value, I mean they're not like highly sought after. They made a lot of them, but still, in the right market, you can still pull $5, maybe $8 to $10 at best. 5 is usually, if I was going to sell one of these, I would let him go for $5, and that would be it. So that is it for these sets. So we're going to get these out of the way right off. I wish one of them was silver. I thought one of them was when I had looked at it earlier, but that don't mean that there's not going to be some more silver as I get going through stuff like this right here. So right here, this is a 2004 silver set. What's cool about this is it does have the Texas. It is 2004. It also features the Michigan, the Florida, the Texas, the Iowa, and Wisconsin. This is a silver set. So pretty cool there. I should be checking on that Wisconsin one for for the high leaf or low leaf, but there's no extra leaf there. For those of you that don't know, right over here, right above the big cheese, sometimes you will see an extra leaf there. It's something worth looking into if you have some Wisconsin quarters, especially on a proof set. Because if you find it on a proof set sealed up like this, ooh, that's going to be some money because it's going to be in great shape. But no matter what, that's $1.25 in silver right there, face value. So a little something there that I believe will be kind of popular. Going through, we got 64 Roosevelt dime sets. These dimes, as you can tell, they're beat up, but they're silver. One is a 64 Roosevelt dime, Philadelphia mint, and a Denver mint. It looks to me like somebody made this set. They took two rough condition dimes, threw them in there. At a quick glance, I know one's silver. I'm looking at this one. It looks like they're both silver. So that's pretty cool there. So it's a little touch of silver. Not a big value. Maybe $5 literally. You're talking that's $5 would be 25 face, 25X. I've seen people get that. These are in rough condition. I like to cherry pick this type of stuff normally at like shows and stuff. Next thing, this is a Sacagawea and a Susan B. Anthony. This is the last coin was the Susan B. Anthony, then the Sacagawea. Obviously, this has been around a while because now we do have the presidential dollars. Let's see here what we got for the dates on that. I'm curious where the date is on this one. Let's see here. I guess they're both on the front. 2000p and 99. Nothing looks too special on these. Sometimes you'll find the era coins, maybe a double back. That would be pretty cool. Maybe a presidential dollar, especially on the first ones. You can find different stuff like the Cheerio or different little stuff that was eras. Next up, this is a Buffalo nickel set. Now, this right here, in my opinion, this is popular amongst new collectors that are basically, they're not big into the gold and silver game. They can't see spending, $25-30 on an ounce of silver, but they recognize this as history. They remember maybe something in their childhood about the collecting coins with their grandfather, their father, their mother, whatever. I highly recommend you guys, if you're watching this, guys or girls, and you have kids, take a little time, teach your kids about coins. I think it goes a long way because down the road it teaches them about money, which puts them in a better spot. It also teaches them about history. And then it also teaches them about real wealth as you get into silver and gold. And that's something that they'll have. And when stuff does start breaking down, like the US dollar, or new currencies rise up like the BRICS and start taking huge market share of the dollar, it's cool because I believe your kids today, if you have kids today and you're teaching them about this, they're going to be around to see what's really going on about the overprinting of money and that. So it's really important that you guys do share that now. But back to this, generally Buffalo nickels, you're really only talking maybe $1 a piece. So you might get, maybe if you're lucky, you might be able to get $5 or $6 for this. Some of the Buffaloes you can't make out. No three-legged Buffaloes there. These usually put in by coin stores and stuff, so you're probably not going to find anything spectacular of real value or rare value. Right here, I've already opened these up earlier when I was evaluating kind of everything. These are the Ellis Islands. These are silver, but not a full ounce, and only one of the coins is silver, I believe. I think they have the paper in here, but we will show you guys what it is. So, right here, this is the 86 to 1886 to 1996. 86. Ellis Islands. Pretty cool. It's a $50. It's $1 here and $50 here. You can see, I believe the dollar coin is silver, and the $50 is basically clad. Let's take a look here what we got. Yeah, so there's the specifications on the The back one, the top one for you, you can see it's copper nickel, so it's a clad. There's no silver. And then when you look at this one, this is the dollar coin is 86% silver. I'm sorry, 90%, 90 fine, or 0.86 troy ounce. So San Francisco Mint. So you've got a little silver here and some clad there, but it's still, I've seen these sell periodically for $3 to $5, depending on where you're at. And there is 2 of them in the set, in the collection. So it's pretty cool. There again, the silver will probably get put away, maybe traded for something else, since I already have a bunch of those. But the clad, I could bust up the set, and the clad will end up getting, shifted off to someone. Moving on, we just have a Washington quarter pack, some different Washington quarters. It looks like 2 of them, a 54 and a 62, a couple bicentennials, and a couple of the later year quarters. That's 50 cents in silver right there. So it does start to add up little by little, especially as silver's climbing. I think anything that has silver is going to have a pretty cool value. Real quick, because there's a bunch of those, so I'm going to show them all at once to try to speed up the video. Right here, this is an American's last silver coin set. Basically, it's 64 dime, quarter, nickel, and half dollar. We've got 64, 64, 64. Now, the interesting thing, someone might be saying nickels aren't silver. This is probably going to be a war nickel, because it says you can always spot a war nickel. If you look right above the dome, there will be a letter right there. If you don't find a letter and you know it's one of the war years, and you see the letter over here, that is an extremely popular era. It's extremely expensive if you ever happen to find it, but you can easily miss that, because I can tell you right now, generally when I'm looking at nickels, I'm not looking at the date. I am flying through the backs. If I see that it's a war nickel, I look right there. If it's a buffalo, if it's a V, those type of things, nickels, then I pull them. All the rest basically just get filtered back in. So this happens to be a 45 though, which was the last year of the silver war nickels. So moving on, we'll get these out of the way real quick. These are not anything super special. These are your 2017 P pennies. They do sell online around $6 to $8 a piece, which blows my mind. If you've been following my channel for any long period of time, me and my son drove to Maine. We picked up over $1,000 worth of pennies. A lot of people that follow the channel or know me has gotten them. We used to give them away on the channel all the time. And there are 3. This one just happens to be in a little medicine bottle, and these happen to be in capsules. I'm surprised that would actually fit in a capsule like that. So I did like that idea came up like that. So we'll kick those off to the side. To me, they don't have any huge value, but it also could be because I've got just so darn many of them. Next 2 items up, even though I know there's going to be a lot more of that, but I just kind of wanted to try to tie the like ones together if I could. Okay. So these look like they're the only 2 that have this design, but the design is pretty standard. What you have here is some silver dimes, some silver quarters, some silver halves. Be mindful if you ever pick up one of these. This one actually has a little bit of an edge on it. It has a steel penny and a buffalo nickel, which, like I said, you can probably pull another buck on that. That nickel right there is nothing super spectacular. The penny is a 64 penny. I don't see anything crazy out of it. But again, when people put these in, they're checking the coins thoroughly. They're not going to put something that has high value. This one has the walking liberty, so it does give you a little bit more of an edge if you go to trade this out and sell this. But at a worst case scenario, you have about $1.70 in face value silver. So as silver's climbing, these are more popular now. People are trying to gather these up. because they've got silver in them. Some people will just bust them open. Like I said, the coins in there are not anything super valuable. Obviously, the older the coin, the better. People look at Roosevelt dimes, Washington quarters, and silver Kennedys as your baseline silver. But when you get down here into Mercury dimes, Standing Liberty quarters, and Washington and Liberty half dollars, a little more popularity in that. But still, even with silver on the climb, even those come out as a popular and valuable thing. Next up, we're going to do all three of these at the same time because they are all the same. One thing you do need to watch out for. I've seen this in coin stores, and if you miss it and they miss it, whether they miss it intentionally, whether they do it intentionally, I don't know. Always check, make sure your stuff is 64, the dimes, the quarters, and the halves. What you don't want to get is a 65, or even worse, a 70 or a 70. Well, I'm sorry, 70 is still silver. A 71. Or 74. That's a popular year that I'll see in these slabs. Like it will say 74, 74, 74. And then you've really taken a set that you might think, oh, 64, have a brain cramp and buy it for melt value or a silver value and then get burned. So nothing super special on the coins in here. They've all been handled. Someone popped them in the cases, but they are silver. So here again, you're talking 85 cents, in face value silver at 3 sets. So pretty cool there when you think about it. You're talking $2.55, I think. Let's see here. Real quick. $2.55. Yep. So $2.55, which is pretty cool. The pennies and the nickels in here are probably usually junk. If you were to bust these open, I won't go that far to bust these open. I will pass them off to another collector if I don't keep them myself. Some stuff I will keep myself, some stuff I won't. Next up, real quick, this is a heavily worn but still silver Liberty quarter. This has a good date on it. It has an 1896, which is pretty cool that you can make out the date. It's extremely heavy wear, but still, even a silver quarter has value right now, and it has a little bit of historical value because who knows the story behind this. So we'll put that up there. As we continue on, next up, this is The Future President is Born, 1917. A little bit of history about Kennedy, a Kennedy stamp, and 2 beautiful, almost uncirculated 50-cent pieces. They could even be uncirculated, but they don't look uncirculated to me. Needless to say, we've got 64. Those are 90%. So there's another dollar face value in silver. So pretty cool there. If you like Kennedy, if someone likes Kennedy, I have a lot of family that was born in Massachusetts. So for them, it's probably going to be a little more popular. Next up, a really cool 63, which is the first year of the Benji half dollar. You've got an Indian nickel or a buffalo nickel. You've got a steel cent, which some people like, especially when they find them. You got a silver quarter, a Mercury dime. The Mercury dimes are pretty popular with a lot of people. Again, that's 85 cents in silver. If you were to break this all up, if not, you can sell it as a set. Mostly going to be for the silver content. Small amounts of silver, but they take up a lot of space for this type of stuff. So unless you've got plenty of space, it can be space consuming, I guess you could say, when you could trade all this in, pick up a little bit of gold and a little bit of silver. So right here we've got a 81 half dollar and a 64, and this is an example. 81 has no real value to it. One of the perks that I just caught that I didn't catch earlier, that's actually a silver nickel. You can tell by the silver, like I said, right above the Monticello. You can see the mint mark. Wheat penny, some people like them. Some people, not a big fan. It all depends. Next up, let's see here where the other one went so I can do them both at one time. Is going to be an interesting thing for some of you, and for some are going to laugh at this because I actually have a bunch of these. This is 2 sets of wartime nickels in little fancy cases. What's important is back at the time, these nickels, 50 cents, 75 cents, $1, but they've continued to climb up. People do like them. I like them because I like any kind of small silver. I believe this would be something that I would be able to barter with, if people understood that is silver. Sometimes you got to educate people a little bit so they understand. You can tell the silver by, like I said, right there, you got an S, a P, a D, and so on, S, and so on all the way through. So pretty cool there. There's, 22 silver nickels, probably only valued at roughly, I think silver nickels right now are showing melt value at like $1.10. However, realistically, you'll probably only get about $1 a piece, if you're lucky and find someone that even wants them. Some people don't want to deal with them because of the space. Right here, a century of dimes. This is pretty cool. We've got some Barber dimes, some Mercury dimes. You've got the Roosevelt dimes in silver, and then you got the Roosevelt dimes in the clad. It's kind of interesting because if you don't look at the first 5, the 4 across the top in this one, and what you see is dimes here and here, these 6 dimes, what's interesting about this is how they've convinced people that this dime is pretty much equal to this dime. And any of you guys that have been coin collecting or silver collecting for a while, you will know right off the bat, you can see the difference in color between silver and clad. However, when it happened fast in 64, there were people that were aware of what was going on, but not everybody. Some people just accepted this or accepted this. So in this set right here, you do have 7 silver dimes, which is pretty cool. So video getting to be a little bit long, I apologize. So right here we got a Walking Liberty, a silver quarter, silver dime, a wartime we got the steel cent because copper was being used for the bullet casings, for those of you that don't know, so they made them out of steel back then. And nickel was too important because the nickel and the copper were used for bullet casings and tanks, so that couldn't be done that way. And then the other 3 are silver, so we got another 85 cents there. Nothing of huge value. Again, this right here, like I showed earlier, pretty cool. This is a piece dollar. It is silver, 90%. Some people like the piece dollar. They've got the fancy history and the 1922. This was actually a set, because I had a few of these, and it comes with a certificate, but you should be able to look and tell it is a real piece dollar. If you really know what you're looking at, you can kind of spot the fakes pretty easy. I won't say that there aren't fakes out there, but the odds of you probably stumbling across a fake piece dollar, I think, are pretty slim if it's a common piece dollar. If it's a beat up common, that's kind of, one of the things. Now, here, we do have another piece dollar, a Benji, a Washington, and a silver dime. So we do have a few different pieces of silver here. It had a price tag of $30. I don't know off the top of my head what that would be right now. You'd be talking $1.85 in that set, in silver face value. So probably still pretty good for 30 easy. I don't know though at the time of when I picked this up versus when I just picked it up the other day, but I don't know the exact spot price or anything. Again, another Barbara set. We've already talked about these. The Barbara set, Barbara half, Barbara quarter, Barbara dime, a V nickel. For those of you that don't know, a V nickel and a Indian penny, there they are right there. So are popular, but not super heavily valued. Really, people are going to want these 3 coins because silver is what is key right now. Another little silver set, and here is one that I spotted. So I knew this was in here because when I looked at the collection, I said 74. A little trickery there, to try to get people to buy this, thinking that maybe they paid X amount of money for the other ones, and so this one must be worth the same thing. Not the case. That's not a silver dime, not a silver quarter, not a silver half, just a regular nickel and a steel penny. Steel penny looks in really nice condition. It's a wheat penny and it's steel. This set right here has absolutely No real value in my opinion. I would probably actually bust this one open, maybe, but more than likely I'll just give it away to a kid. Moving on real quick, we're almost done. Buffalo nickel, a V nickel, Indian cent, and a wheat cent. No real value here aside from a collector or a kid might get a couple bucks for it. It's kind of a neat little thing. I'm saving those ones to last because they're not anything special. This right here, a similar thing. It's a nickel set. You've got your Indian nickel, your V nickel, and a couple of other nickels, but I'm sorry, that one's a war nickel. And that's a regular nickel. So, so you got a little something in there, but not a huge value on that either. I don't want the video to get 30 minutes or it may shut off on me. If it does shut off, I apologize because I won't be able to reload this video again. Indian, penny, V nickel, Indian nickel, Buffalo nickel, and V nickel. So pretty much the same stuff. Neat little Indian set, American West set they call it. Your Indian penny, Liberty nickel, and Buffalo nickel. Has some dates, has some key examples. Another key thing for kids. And when I say kids, I mean this still, maybe you pull $5 or $6 at best for this. But still you got to find someone that collects it. And if you're a stacker / better higher end collector, then not really gonna be interested in that type of stuff. Right here, I saved these 4 until the end for a reason. They're pretty much all the same. We've got a 78, a 79, a 72, and a 91. Proof sets, we'll open up. Let's see here. It doesn't matter because none of them are silver. Unless they made a mistake and put it in the wrong box, but that don't usually happen, and I usually check for that. So these are, as you can see, you got a 72 penny, 72 nickel, 72 half, 72 dime, and 72 quarter. Always be mindful, though. Look for errors. Look for things. Know your coins. I won't sit there and look for errors on pennies and nickels, but on something like this, I will definitely check. You could have something like maybe your 72 dime and, you know, it doesn't have the mint mark or something, you know, different little things, mint mark in the wrong spot or errors with the pennies, or maybe even you could get lucky and have a mule. A lot of different stuff to look for. So I always like to check everything. I don't know all my coins, for errors, all the different types, but I do look for anything that looks out of the norm. These sets right here have very low values. A set like this that has 91 cents in it, generally you can pick these up for $3. And if you're a high-end collector and you really know the markets and you know, hey, I can go buy, someone might comment, I can go buy 100 of these at $2 a piece right now. I've seen it when people start building up huge amounts of them. But I've also seen on the flip side, people say, oh, 72 is maybe my birthday or my cousin's birthday or whatever. I'm going to buy it for them, and it sells for $8. You know, so, you know, you get into that, but you're looking for that needle in a haystack on stuff like that. So with that being said, I think it's a pretty cool collection. It was definitely worth, picking up because it does have a bunch of, you know, miscellaneous stuff, a bunch of silver. I will, like I said, part out the collection. The more, history related stuff will probably go to kids. The more lower end collectible stuff, I have a couple friends that are newer to coin collecting and they just like the history aspect. One of my buddies is like, I don't want silver, I just want to get my hands on some Buffalo nickels, and I instantly thought of him when this came up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was rather longer than my normal videos. It was 30 minutes. Please, if you made it this far, check out all of our other great videos. Please hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think of this collection. Pretty cool that someone was getting rid of all this. Right now, times are tough. People are watching the gold market. Gold seems to be going up right now at a big numbers, and gold can usually hold its own. It is a tier 1 asset for the banks. So with that being said, though, when gold goes up, silver usually goes up like crazy. So I kind of like silver a little better. However, you can't have tons and tons and tons of money into silver. So you have to move over to gold because it does hold a lot of money in a small little hand, as you guys have seen in other videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you all for watching. Hope to see you guys again on Tsquare Talk. Y'all have a great weekend. So enjoy. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.